HMS Devastating Strike Agincourt is the Royal Navy Tier 5 premium battleship, available currently only through Battle of Jutland containers in the armoury. Along with this ship, other rare items which may drop are the German battleship König Albert and the Jutland Veteran permanent camouflage, which is visible here on Agincourt. Unfortunately, at the present there is no other way to acquire Agincourt, although this may change in the future, so she remains one of the rarer ships in game. Agincourt is quite the special case. The only British ship with a secondary armament that doesn't consist of pea shooters. She also has the most turrets of any battleship in the game. There are 7 of them, each mounting 2 305mm guns, which are almost identical to those carried aboard the Tier 3 Tech T battleship Bellerophon. That's right, this is a Tier 5 ship armed with Tier 3 weapons. How does this stack up? In fact, it's worse. Agincourt has lower maximum damage and fire chance values, along with a reload time that is 6 seconds longer per turret. You will be asking, what is this? And how can it possibly be effective? And these are all reasonable questions on paper. The answer is that Agincourt is a joke. A joke that will have you grinning from ear to ear. This is a ship of compromises and ridiculous dreams. So much is given up for those 14 guns, from an armour scheme that eats penetrations, to the complete lack of anti-aircraft armament, which forces the ship to work with its team, instead of loading the secondaries with double shot, painting the shells with napalm, and screaming, in your best British accent, charge. But make no mistake, Agincourt is fully and laughably capable of the latter. Nowhere is Agincourt more effective than in the middle of a brawl, her secondaries firing away on all sides, and her big guns taking fiery bites out of the enemy. This comes with a price. Your highest ranking British commander must be sacrificed on the altar of the full secondary build, as this ship is pointless if you do not reap the rewards offered by those magnificent auxiliary weapons. Having the equivalent of 2 entire light cruisers strapped to each side of your ship is worth an entire barrel of laughs, and a multitude of fire ribbons. Her somewhat confused statistics make a little more sense when her history is considered. Agincourt was originally ordered by the Brazilian Navy, but was purchased by the Ottoman Empire before her completion. Constructed in an English shipyard, she was seized at the outbreak of the First World War and promptly commissioned into the Royal Navy, an act which influenced her rightful owners into joining the opposing side. Agincourt went on to fight at Jutland, where the muzzle flash of her enormous main battery caused such an explosion that onlookers thought she had detonated. So, HMS Tier 5 Thunderer is now in World of Warships, but there is a catch. As I mentioned, she can only be purchased indirectly through gambling for lucky loot boxes in the armoury, a business practice that is something I cannot condone. Why have Wargaming done this? Putting Agincourt in the game was an unbalanced move from the beginning, and Tier 5 premium ships are inexpensive enough that they could become commonplace, stuffing the matchmaker with legions of fire-spitting 14-gun brawlers. Will no one think of the light cruisers that have to suffer this? Whilst I believe that Agincourt will eventually, in some form or another, become attainable for everyone, the best possible way for this to happen would be to have her available as the reward for completing a campaign, or a special chain of combat missions that repeats once per year. As things stand, her 2 immense strengths render her in some situations almost too powerful for the game, and we can only thank her armour scheme for keeping her in some state of balance. I applaud the work that has gone into bringing this ship through development hell, but there remains a lingering sense of confusion about her current state. It's as if Agincourt doesn't know quite what tier she is supposed to be at, nor what her specific role. Armed with weapons lifted straight from Tier 3, and the distributed armour scheme of a battlecruiser, whilst saddled with the manoeuvrability of a sloth. She is as problematic here as she was in reality. Thank you for watching this impressions video, and, until next time, happy hunting on the high seas.
Problem solved, sir.
We destroyed an enemy battleship. Victory is in